If I was starting to invest in Australia this year, knowing everything I know now, this is exactly what I would do, step by step. No hype, no fluff, no complicated strategies. Just a simple, realistic approach that actually works for normal Australians. If you're brand new to investing or you feel like you've been stuck watching videos but not taking action, this video will give you clarity and direction. Let's get straight into it. Why most people get stuck. One of the biggest problems with investing today is that there is too much information. Everyone has an opinion, everyone has a strategy, and most beginners end up doing nothing because they're scared of making the wrong decision. Trust me, I've been there. You watch one video saying ETFs are the safest option, but another says you should pick individual stocks. Then someone else says dividends are the way to go. Then suddenly you're thinking, what if I choose the wrong thing and mess this up? So instead of investing, you keep researching. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and the money just sits in cash doing nothing. That's information overload. So if I were starting again this year, my goal wouldn't be to be perfect. It would be to make a reasonable decision, take action, and improve over time. Because starting consistently beats waiting forever for the perfect answer. So here's the step-by-step guide on what I would do. Step 1, get the mindset right. The first thing I'd focus on is mindset. Yes, I know it's becoming a buzzword in the finance space, but trust me, it matters because investing isn't about getting rich fast, even though that's what many people hope for. It's actually about building wealth slowly, steadily, and sustainably over time. If you're relatively young and starting today, your biggest advantage isn't predicting the next big winner or timing the market perfectly. It's time in the market. Most people underestimate how powerful this is. Even small regular investments, given enough time, can grow into something meaningful. So if I was starting again this year, I'd remind myself that I don't need to rush. I don't need to catch up to anyone else, and I don't need to copy what's trending online. I would focus on 3 simple rules. 1, I don't need to know everything to start. You learn far more by actually investing than you do by endlessly researching. 2, consistency matters more than brilliance. Showing up regularly with a simple plan will beat a clever strategy you don't stick to. And 3, long-term investing beats short-term guessing. Trying to predict short-term market movements usually leads to stress and mistakes. Once you accept this mindset, investing becomes a long-term habit rather than a constant decision, and that's when it starts to feel much more manageable. Step 2, keep it simple at the start. If I was starting again, I would not try to pick individual stocks straight away. I'd start simple. That means using broad, diversified investments like ETFs. ETFs allow you to invest in many companies at once, which spreads your risk and removes the pressure of having to pick individual winners. For example, in Australia, there are ETFs that give you exposure to the local market, global markets, or a mix of both. An ETF like VAS gives you exposure to many of the largest Australian companies, all in a single investment. An ETF like VGS gives you exposure to hundreds of companies from developed markets around the world outside Australia. There are also all-in-one options like DHHF, which combines Australian shares, international shares, and emerging markets into a single ETF. If you're more interested in the US market specifically, ETFs like IVV or NDQ gives you exposure to large US companies or technology-focused businesses. The point isn't that you need to choose the perfect ETF. The point is that ETFs let you build a diversified portfolio without making things complicated. By the way, quick disclaimer, none of the ETFs I mentioned are buy recommendations. I'm just using them as examples for educational purposes only. In fact, everything in this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Investing does involve risk, so please always do your own research before making any decisions. With that out of the way, let's continue. So when you're starting out, you don't need a long list of investments. You need something you understand, something that fits your goals, and something you can stick with for the long term. That simplicity makes it much easier to stay invested when markets move up and down. Step 3, choose the right investing platform. If I was starting again this year, I would be very intentional about the investing platform I choose. One of the first things I look at is whether a broker is CHESS-sponsored or custodial, because there's an important difference. With a CHESS-sponsored broker, the shares you buy are held in your name through the ASX's CHESS system. With a custodial broker, the shares are held on your behalf by the platform instead. Neither approach is inherently right or wrong, but for long-term investing, I personally prefer CHESS sponsorship because I like knowing my investments are registered directly in my name. The next thing I pay close attention to is brokerage fees. Higher fees might not feel like a big deal at first, but over time they can quietly eat into your returns, especially if you're investing regularly for decades. That's why I prefer a platform with low transparent fees, so more of my money stays invested. I also like having auto-reoccurring investing features, because relying on willpower every month usually doesn't work long term. Automation makes consistency much easier. That's why the platform I currently use is Moomoo, which ticks all 3 boxes. It's a CHESS-sponsored broker, the fees are some of the lowest in Australia, with a minimum of $3 brokerage for Australian shares and 99 US cents minimum for US shares. And it offers auto-recurring investing features that let you automate your investments, which is great for beginners. And right now, they've got some nice sign-up bonuses. If you sign up using the link in the description, you'll receive up to 38 free fractional shares when you make a qualified deposit and meet other requirements. You just need to keep a minimum account balance for 30 days. You'll also get $0 brokerage fees on Aussie and US shares for 30 days. So that's free brokerage for a month to try out the app. And if you don't like it after 30 days, no worries, you can just stop using them. Terms and conditions do apply, so make sure you read them before proceeding. I'm not sure how long this offer will last, so if you're interested, use the link below to sign up and claim all the bonus rewards on screen. Step 4. Start with small, consistent amounts. If I was starting again this year, I would still start small, but I'd do it the right way. One important thing to understand is that on the ASX, there is a minimum investment of around $500 for your first purchase of a particular stock or ETF. So the very first time you buy something, you'll usually need to invest at least that amount. After that initial purchase, you're generally allowed to invest smaller amounts into the same investment, depending on the broker you're using. This is actually helpful, because it means you can get started with that first minimum amount, then focus on building a consistent habit over time. I think of that first investment as my entry ticket. Personally, I'd actually prefer to start with around $1,000 if I could. It's a more rounded number, you get more bang for your buck with brokerage fees, and psychologically, it makes you feel properly invested from the beginning and gives you incentive to stay consistent. I'd choose something simple and diversified, make that first purchase, and then stop worrying about getting everything perfect. I wouldn't wait until I had tens of thousands of dollars saved up. Over time, those smaller, consistent investments matter far more than trying to time the market or waiting for the perfect moment to start. In the beginning, I'd get comfortable with the process, placing trades, seeing how markets move, and understanding how my investments behave. Step 5. Automate your investing. Once I feel comfortable with everything so far, the next step will be to remove as much effort and emotion as possible. That's where automation comes in. Rather than deciding every month whether to invest, I'd set things up so my investments happen automatically. This is often called dollar cost averaging, where you invest smaller amounts on a regular schedule, regardless of what the market is doing. Some months you'll buy when prices are higher, some months when prices are lower. Over time, that consistency helps smooth out volatility and takes emotion out of the process. This is one of the reasons I personally use an investing platform like Moomoo. It lets you automate your investing once you're ready, either on a fortnightly or monthly schedule. That way, investing becomes a background habit, not something you have to constantly think about. You're not trying to time the market, you're just showing up regularly and letting time do the work. And for most long-term investors, that approach is far more sustainable. Step 6. Ignore short-term noise. This year, just like every other year, there will be headlines. Markets will go up, markets will go down. And there will always be something that sounds urgent or scary in the news. If I was starting again, I would actively avoid checking my portfolio every day. Daily price movements don't tell you much, but they can trigger emotional decisions. I'd remind myself that short-term volatility is completely normal. It's the price you pay for long-term growth. Markets move around all the time, but over longer periods, what matters is staying invested and giving your investments time to work. I'd also be very careful about reacting to every headline. Most news is designed to grab attention, not to help you make better long-term decisions. So instead of focusing on daily movements, I'd zoom out. I'd look at my plan, remind myself why I'm investing in the first place, and stick to it. Because long-term growth doesn't come from reacting to every piece of news. It comes from patience, consistency, and staying invested through the ups and downs. Step 7. Focus on behavior, not predictions. Most investing success doesn't come from making clever predictions. It comes from behavior. Not selling in panic when markets fall. Not chasing hype when something is trending. And not constantly changing your strategy every time you hear a new opinion. I would accept that I can't predict the future. No one can. So instead of trying to outsmart the market, I'd focus on doing the boring things well. I'd invest regularly, even when it feels uncomfortable. I'd stay diversified, so I'm not relying on any single investment. I'd review my plan once or twice a year, rather than reacting to every market move. And I'd keep learning slowly over time without feeling the need to constantly change what I'm doing. These habits might not be exciting, but they're effective. They help you stay invested through market ups and downs. And over the long term, that consistency is what makes the biggest difference. In investing, how you behave matters far more than what you try to predict. My final thoughts. If you're watching this and thinking about starting to invest this year, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Take your time, do your research, and choose an approach you can actually stick with. Because consistency matters far more than getting everything right from day one. Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. All the ETFs I mentioned in this video are not buy recommendations and are examples only for educational purposes. Please note, investing does carry risks, so please always do your own research before making any investing decisions. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and made it this far, comment the words Vegemite portfolio down below so I know who you are. And if you're new around here, what are you waiting for, mate? Hit that subscribe button and join this awesome community of like-minded people who are all trying to level up their life. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram and X, where I post heaps more lighthearted finance content. And if you want to go a bit deeper, you can sign up to my free email newsletter, Aussie Money Club, where once a week I'll send you some money tips, major news in the market, or any cool updates from me. And if you want to invest in your first stock in Australia this year, check out this video on screen where I'll show you a step-by-step beginner's guide on how to buy your first stock. And as always, thank you for watching, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.